Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's been a while. I'm back for a review. This time I'm going to take a look at The Witcher Old World by Go On Board. Now, this is a game I've hyped up a lot for me because I'm a huge Witcher fan. I like the books, I play the games. Witcher 3 is my favourite game of all time. So my hype for this game was so high. And I waited for over 2 years on Kickstarter. So it's just been a long wait. You know, seeing everyone get the game before me has been very painful. But it's finally arrived, I played quite a bit, and I want to explain my thoughts on the game. So this is set before the events of The Witcher, before Geralt and Ciri. This is set before all that. This is basically a prequel where you play as one of the Witcher schools, the different ones like the Griffin, the Bear, the Wolf, and you have to basically travel the lands, fight monsters, and get trophies. You win the game by getting 4 trophies. Now, there's no sort of round limit or time. You keep playing until someone hits that 4 trophy mark. When they do, the game is over. You get trophies in under 3 ways. The most primary way is to defeat a monster in combat. So that gets you a trophy. You can defeat another Witcher, another trophy, and lastly, gain level 5 of an attribute, like an ability. So you get level 5 in combat, you get a combat trophy, if it's available. So this game uses a combination of card play and some light deck building to increase your deck, sort of get stronger, explore, do quests, level up, get potions, get trophies, and go for the trophies. So the big question is, does this game up to the hype? Is it a good game? Is it worth your purchase? Is it worth purchase if you're a Witcher fan or not? Let's take a look. So the game begins with you choosing a Witcher school. So one of the 5 Witcher schools, and they all are the same except for one thing in the corner. They all have different abilities, special abilities. So you have different stats like shield, combat, defense, and magic. Basically, your shield blocks hits in combat. Your card rating lets you draw more cards in combat. Your defense rating lets you increase your shield. Your potion lets you draw potions and play potions in combat. And your last ability is a special, usually once per fight, combat ability. Lets you do certain effects to get the upper hand in combat. The game has a huge board, a big map of locations that players of the game and readers of books will notice, like Sintra and Novigrad. You can also get Skellig in expansion packs. And it also has different sections of the board for phases, which I do like. So there's a little one on the corner across the whole map, because phase 1 is basically exploration. In phase 1, you're going to be playing cards, matching symbols to explore certain locations. You play a card with the right symbol, move to get to location, you can resolve an action at that location. Most of the time, you're going to be increasing your skills. So you're going to be either paying money to train up, increase your level, or you're going to activate a certain ability if you have the right level anyway. Because if you get all the same level up of all the abilities, you level up your whole character, draw a card, and your level stays. You can also play dice poker with other players. Basically, you roll 5 dice, get one more reroll, and compare your hand to bet gold. You can also gain cards and trash cards in your hand. Because one of the games where you want to basically build your deck, get rid of crappy cards and put better cards in there to create great combos and a great deck you can use in combat. So the first phase is exploration, activating locations. Phase 2, you do one of 3 things. You have a meditate, explore, or fight. Meditate means you basically, if you have at least level 5 of an attribute, and trophy is available, take that trophy, you get extra score, and that's you go straight to phase 3. Explore means based on the location where you are, you can draw a card. You can resolve a quest where you are, or you can draw a city or forest event card. These are just little things of, 2 choices, but you pick one, another player reads it for you, and it'd be like a little adventure, a little mini narrative. You choose something, you might get gold or potions or items, or even quests that you can basically go on adventures for and try to get new rewards and stuff, which is quite cool. And of course, you can fight. Now, fighting is the bulk of the game, and it's one part of the game I do really enjoy. When you fight, you basically get your cards together, shuffle them all together in the discard pile. This becomes your life pool. Your deck is your life total. So the more cards you've basically on your deck, the more cards you've got, the bigger your life pool, the better you are. So the game just works like that. The more cards you get, the stronger you are in combat. You get the cards of the other player or monster, the monster deck, shuffled together based on their life total. Then you fight back and forth. You play cards and you try to link together colour-coded combos, because you only play one card. And the way to play more cards is to link the colour tabs in the corner to get certain combos. The more you link up, the more cards you can play. So being very careful what cards you acquire to your deck so you can play big combos. You want to do damage, increase your shield, and draw more cards. When you deal damage, you take cards to the deck into the discard pile. If they damage you and you have no cards left in your deck, you take cards from your hand, and whoever has low cards left loses the fight. So fighting is quite a fun little card-based minigame, which I do quite enjoy playing. And the final phase 3 is basically you gain a new card. So it's like a marketplace of cards. Each card has a cost ranging from 0 to sort of 2 or 3. There's little modifiers in the marketplace where it slides down to cost less than 1 or more than 1. And then you pick a card to your hand, shuffle your deck up, and start a new round, and keep playing this way. So turns don't take too long, but it depends on who's fighting and who's involved in the fight. So let's analyse the game. So first of all, the theme. How do I think the theme works in this game? Well, as someone who likes The Witcher and the books and the idea of Witcher hunters being sort of mutated, trained up monster hunters, and this Polish mythology, You're hunting monsters, you're going to the locals, you're getting contracts, trying to fight, hunt things, get trophies or rewards. It does a very good job. The weird thing is, though, that the Witcher games and even the books are mostly told from Geralt's perspective. They are Geralt's story, they're one character. So have multiple players sort of going back and forth and fighting kind of feels a bit strange. But they do it in a way that sort of works here in a sort of fast, fluid way. So I do like that. And what I like here is preparation, the build-up, the searching, the leveling up, the getting ready for a quest. You start the game with 3 monsters, and every time monster defeated, you get a stronger monster on the board. Now, straight away, you could play your first turn, play a card, and go fight that first monster. But you're going to have a hard time because your deck's pretty crappy. Your starting deck is crap, you aren't strong enough. You need to level up. You get more cards you are, strong you are, you can take on the monster. Have you got potions? So it's one of the games where you have to basically prepare for fights. You even get trail tokens, like you have advantage in combat if you search for a trail for a monster. So it is like the games, you're hunting monsters, you're getting stronger, you're going on quests, going to the locals, they don't like you, they give you weird missions, send you off on sort of quests and stuff, travel across the board back and forth, try and get as strong as you can. So I do like that in the theme, but the combat is great, the combat's really intense, the card play is really fun, the variety of monsters here, and the artwork is great. Let's discuss the artwork and components briefly. The artwork is fantastic, the board, the monsters, the artwork on the cards is wonderfully designed. Production is great, the miniatures, the card stock, the boards, everything feels really nice. The little dice, the miniatures, they all feel great. So Go On Board have done a great job making a really well produced, very artistic game. Makes you feel like living in the world of The Witcher. So the game is 1 to 5 players, and at a higher player count it can go on quite a bit. It's one of the things I will say is negative. It depends on what you're doing, because the problem with this game is there's no sort of round limit. You'll keep playing and playing and playing till you get 4 trophies. When you get 4 trophies, the game ends. But the problem is there's no way of really rushing that bit to the end. There's no round limit. There's no keep going, come on, get a trophy, win. You just keep going. You could literally just keep going around the board, getting potions, doing quests, and going round and round and round fighting. You can take a long time. So it depends on your players. If your players are experienced and played it a few times and know how to win fast, it could probably be a bit quicker, but the gameplay does take a while. It is a long, long game. Ideally better at sort of 3 players or less. That's how the game works, but it still plays fine at 5 players. It just has a bit extra time. Because what you do is, on your turn, there's no like everyone moves, then everyone fights, then everyone does a card. It's the whole phases, the whole 3 phases in one go. So your phase will be phase 1, exploring, leveling up. Then you do phase 2, you might do a quest, you might read some text, you might even fight, it takes a little bit longer. Then phase 3 buy a card. Now you can go faster here by basically having players start their turn as you end. So one player starts buying a card, you start your next turn, move around. But it's just a little negative point there, the game length is quite long. So how is the overall gameplay? The gameplay here is surprisingly not that hard to understand. For a huge box game or miniatures and cards and this high price tag, you expect this game to be very complex, but it's actually not that bad. It's basically just move around the board, play cards, level up your stats, and just basically have combat. But the bulk of the gameplay here is the combat. The card-based combat is fantastic. It's so good. It's so intense. Getting your deck ready, getting the right cards you need, just drawing that right card that combos into this card, then to this card, then to this card, and you can play a massive big combo, draw more cards, get shield level up. It just feels good using potions, using items you've got, using trophies to have little abilities. Oh, I can use this now. The more you play, the stronger you get, and that progression system there feels good. They've got that from the game quite well. You progress, you get stronger, not just in the cards, but your levels, your abilities, your potions, and your trophies too. So as you play, you feel powerful. You get to the end of the game when you're sort of fighting level 3 monsters that are very, very tough. You feel like a big, powerful monster hunter. You feel like a very strong character because you've got a big deck of cards, potions, all this other equipment. So I love that feeling of progression in the combat. It feels fantastic to play. There's a lot of variety here too, not just in the 5 Witcher schools, but all the monsters. They all have different abilities, they all have different strengths and different health totals. They're hard to fight, some are different, some are quite tricky. Some discard cards, some will basically do things for the fighting to start, some will have to reduce the effects of certain colour cards, so they're quite hard to win against. That's why preparation is the key, getting better cards, getting trail tokens. The game makes you want to be more prepared, and not just gung-ho and not just jump into the fight, which I do quite enjoy. Has a lot of event cards too, little mini quests on, and the quest deck too has a number 1 to 57 I think it is, where you basically draw quests, put a token on there, then go to that quest, so you can resolve a quest and get certain items. I do quite enjoy little mini narratives, little mini stories that go along. It's like little bits in the game books, someone in a town wants to do his contract, someone's found a well, there's something haunting the fields, go drunk with a guy in a tavern, little funny little sort of classic RPG quests like that, and they're quite fun to play with. But you have to someone else read the card for you because you also don't want to see the answers, so they have to read the card to you, which is a bit strange, but I do quite enjoy that anyway. All the card play, all the different cards you can acquire, all the potions, there's a lot of variety in the game, there's tons to go through, which is really fun. It makes the game more replayable, makes the game more enjoyable. So how is the price of the game, the value? Is the game valued well? Well, the retail version is about £70 roughly, and you get a decent amount of quality in there. Content, you get all the cards, you get the Witcher miniatures, the dice, the components, so it is pretty good. The deluxe version, the miniatures are great, I love them, but the price tag is very, very high. It depends how much you like the miniatures of the world of The Witcher. If you enjoy painted miniatures, you have a great time here. The game has a solo mode. It's not a bad mode, it just doesn't really have much depth to it. It's just to beat your own score. Try and get 4 trophies as fast as you can. And that's it really, because the gameplay's fine. You basically explore, fight, and then get cards. That's all you do. There are fan-made modes which do increase the game's replayability in solo, but a solo mode couldn't have let extra work. If you actually look cards for a solo player, it would have been nice to add or an expansion or something. But it's nice how it's there. You can play this game solo, and it does work fine. It's quite a relaxing game to play solo. It's quite fun to get certain combos and fight big powerful monsters. So overall, what do I think of The Witcher Old World? The Witcher Old World is a very, very good game. In fact, it's a game I really enjoy playing. As a fan of The Witcher, the world, the story, the characters, the whole universe, it's a great, great experience. Seeing locations you recognise and monsters, like, this mythology is so, so cool. All these different trolls and striegers and leshens, these weird monsters. They're just foglets and drowners and that. This weird, disturbing mythology that's so cool to explore. Even the miniatures looks great. These disturbing, grotesque miniature creatures, monsters. They're just so weird to fight against. Love the production, the artwork. It just feels nice to play. And, it isn't that hard to learn. It's very easy to teach, very simple. Card combat makes sense. Everything just sort of flows nice. I do really appreciate that. The game can go on quite a long time though. Length is a bit of an issue. Slow mo could do with improving. Would you like this game if you're not a Witcher fan? That's the problem. If you want to find the Witcher universe, could you enjoy this game? I think you could. It's got basic elements and blueprints of a basic RPG. Monster hunters, fighting monsters, leveling up, playing cards, killing things with trophies. Most trophies at the end of the game wins. 4 trophies and you win. It's a universal aspect that can be applied to anything. It's quite enjoyable for anyone. I mean, you haven't got to know much about the Witcher world to enjoy this game. You don't need to know about all the lore, the locations, how potions work, the mutagens and spells and signs and that. You don't need to understand any of that. You can still enjoy the game just fine, which is great. They made the game accessible for anyone. They could have made this game more complex. It could have been extremely complex with signs and potions and bombs and all bits, but they made it a bit more simple, which is great for sort of newer players or to get more players into the game and make the game go faster, which you really like. So to summarise, The Witcher is a very, very good game. It's in fact a very enjoyable game. As a fan of the lore, it's brilliant. I love being immersed in this universe with monsters and this combat and spells and potions and quests. It's very immersive, very fun, but also not too over the top. It could push into that sort of over the top complex category, but it just sits back. It's just enough that you can enjoy and play casually, which I do really enjoy. Not much of fans are going to enjoy it too. It does benefit from a few extra bit of content here from the other expansions, like the Wild Hunt expansion or the Trails expansion or the Legendary Hunt expansion. Some little things like that do make it much more fun. But the base game alone is still a fantastic game to have. From the length and a bit of downtime depending on what you're doing. If you're not really involved in a fight, if you've got 5 players and you don't fight for 2 turns, you're sitting out the game for quite a bit. You can make wages and sort of see what's going on, but it can make the game bog down a bit and there's a bit of downtime. That's only at the higher player counts though. So the game's only weakness is at higher player counts of 4 or 5 inexperienced players, it's going to drag on quite a bit. That's the only downside to this game I can think of. The higher player count and the length. But other than that, the game is an amazing, incredibly immersive Witcher experience. They managed to take the world of The Witcher and bring it to a game that's very accessible and fun. This sort of quick-based, jumping RPG game with simple mechanics that aren't hard to understand and a lot of really fun deck building and card-based combat. Overall, I give The Witcher Old World an A-. And that's it for my review. Look forward to a playthrough of The Witcher Old World coming soon in true solo. I'm going to show you how the game plays. And more reviews coming soon. Also, channel name is going to change soon to match my Instagram name because I've gone more on Instagram now. I'm more on there. So look forward to the video soon about the changes and the channel progression and where I'm going from there. But other than that, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this review and I'll see you soon.